Hello everybody, welcome to Creative Chess channel, and today my next lesson, which is devoted on the topic attack on the pawn triangle. First of all, let's have a look at this pawn structure, and I want to show you what pawn triangle I mean. So first of all, here we may see the triangle, and here it's triangle number 1, triangle number 2. So when your opponent has this pawn structure, you should be aware of what to do. It's let's call it full triangle because it has all three angles. But sometimes there are such structures where it's not full triangle, but let's call it cut triangle, or not just a bit strange triangle. First of all, here you see that it's not full triangle because it lacks one pawn. But anyway, we're going to speak about these structures too. And this is also not a full triangle because the pawn is not on c6 but on c7. But when I'm speaking, so my topic is devoted to these structures also. I hope you understood what I meant by saying triangle. And now let's have a look at the examples. So the first example I want to show you is the game between Smithslof and Caris, played in 1948. Smithslof was playing white. It was his move. First of all, let's find the triangle. There is no full triangle here, but just of a regular shape triangle, because the pawn is not on c6, but on not on a6, but on a7. But here it doesn't matter because Smyslov decided to have this minority attack. So his plan, of course, is b4, b5, and attack the pawn. What is the idea behind? So when you go with your pawn to b5, then the idea is to capture the pawn, and if black captures, then it means that this pawn would be weak. It will not be supported by b7 pawn anymore, and then we can create an attack on that pawn and win it. If, for example, when we play b5, black would take us, it means that they would have another weak pawn, but now on d5. So that's why after rook b1, black tried to create some. They just develop piece, yes, on the right square, but it would be nice for them to create also some counterplay. And of course, Smyslov is realizing his plan before bishop d6 and b5. Bishop d7. Caris played. It's not the best move. Here, as I told you, it's more important for black to organize some counter-attack. And the best move here was to play h6, because after that they don't have any space for the bishop. Should have been exchanged, and then black probably has some counterplay on the king side. At least something. But instead, black played passively. Oh, sorry. Black played passively. They played bishop to d7, and we captured. And they captured with the bishop, not with the pawn, though with the pawn would be better, but with the bishop. So what white achieved by this pawn run? First of all, now we can see a weak pawn on d5. Then the bishop is a little bit strange, just looking into his pawn. And besides, of course, we have half-open b file, which can be useful in future. Queen goes to b3. Immediately, white starts making some pressure on d5 pawn. The idea is to take the knight here and then to take the pawn just to win a pawn. That's why followed bishop e7. But anyway, white decided to remove the piece, which was protecting d5 square, and then played bishop b5. So now they try to get rid of that bishop. Of course, if it takes me, it will be this pawn on d5 would be lost. And that's why they have to do something else. They played queen d6, knight e2. Actually, we are making more and more pressure on all these pieces. And after h4, take, queen goes to a4. You see now we created this finally this weak pawn on c6. And now just white is going to attack it and capture. Knight e7, protecting the pawn, but rook b7. We're not going to watch the game till the end, but it's absolutely clear that white position is more active. So they have, for example, they're attacking a7 pawn. They have tension here. Actually, this position is much better. So this was white's idea, why they moved before pawn. So next position, it's was played in 1978 by Yusupov and Sveshnikov, and it was white to move. Here again we may see triangle, and it means that we can attack it. And what is the move, guys, to attack? Of course, it's f5. It was played in the game. We are taking this pawn triangle. Black played e5, bishop e3, king h8. So let's have a look, because black might have taken here, winning a pawn. Why not to do this? So the problem is that after taking, white has this nasty move f6. Also should remember about this idea. If you can play f6, you should do this, of course, and then with these nasty ideas of checkmating. That's why black preferred not to win the pawn, but just played king h8, bishop g5. Here they took, and again f6. So in the game followed bishop d3, and you see that queen is going to penetrate. What to do? How to protect? Of course, I think black shouldn't have allowed, but Sveshnikov was famous grandmaster. Of course, it shows that maybe he didn't have any other great ideas here. That's why he preferred having this one, this position. Here, see, rook goes to e3. Then they want to play rook h3. So why not to play queen h6 now? Because it's rook g8. We are protecting g7, and it's impossible to checkmate. We need some more pieces. So again, our threat is clear. But black plays bishop b6. Now, neither this rook can play here, nor this rook can play this way. So bishops are strong here. They don't allow. That's why white played bishop e4. Now you see the bishop is ready to defend f3 square for the rook, and the rook wants to go to h3. h5. It's already agony. Black doesn't know what to do. And after a wonderful move, bishop f5, of course can't be taken because of checkmate, you see. Queen retreated. Bishop goes to d2. Why? Because they want white king to get to attack. And after king g8, bishop g6, black resigned. You see, of course, if we take, checkmate is coming. So this was attack f5, yes, f5 on this triangle. So, but guys, let's imagine that we have a triangle. We have it. And what to do if our opponent just tries to attack us? Let's have a look from white's point of view, first of all. So position was like that. It was the game played between Broman and Tukmakov in 1965, and it was white to move. White saw this triangle and played g4. So they want to play f5, like we have just seen, maybe then even to play f6 to close the bishop, maybe not, but the idea is to play f5 right now. If not to play a5, if not to play, so they want, yes, to play f5, and so how to prevent this? Here the best move for black is to play f5. Actually, it was played in the game, for example, and after gf, which was in the game, and ef, knight g3, nothing bad happened to black, and you see black's position is normal. So guys, if you see that your opponent is going to make something bad with you, like attacking your triangle and push your pawn further, maybe it's time for you just to play f5 and to prevent, to stop them from this. And here, by the way, while analyzing this position, I came to a nice thing that, for example, white plays here, g4, f5, and if, for example, we take, no, just sorry. So if, yeah, this was an interesting position that, okay, we play g4, and if black just didn't prevent f5, yes, for example, he decided to play here on this side, yes, play b5, b4, and just they're ready to accept f5, then we can play it. And for example, after ef, gf, bishop d7, f6, bishop goes to h8, there is a nice idea for white, because they can just take the knight. It seems what's going on is just, you see a fork, pawn fork, why we're giving the, so our piece, but the problem is that we can take, and black can't take the bishop. Guys, please find why. Why actually? What's the problem? Why not to take the bishop? So the idea is that after knight d5, we are taking the queen. And if queen takes queen, there'll be a very nice checkmate. So remember, guys, if your opponent has such position, you always have checkmates like that, especially if the rook is standing there, of course. Yeah. So, guys, remember, if your pawn triangle is attacked, be ready for f5 to meet, to have some counterplay. But do remember that these triangles should be attacked somehow, like, yes, and you should always think about such pawn breaks. Guys, yes, that's all I want to tell you today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my chess channel. See you in my next videos, and bye bye.